Alright, our next conic section is a circle. Definition of the circle, the set of all points equidistant from a fixed point called the center. Alright, so let's put on our center. Here's our center. We're going to call it HK. This line here, the radius, is going to represent that set of points. Alright, the equation of the circle is derived from the distance formula. It is x minus h squared plus y minus k squared equals radius squared. Alright, we are going to graph this. The first thing we're going to do is put it into standard form because our squares need to be together. So we're just going to add the x squared over. Now, with there nothing being subtracted from the x and y, that means h and k are both 0, 0. So our center is at 0, 0. And our radius is actually the square root of 27, because 27 is radius squared, which is 3 square root 3. If you use your calculator, that comes out to about 5.1. So to graph a circle, we're going to start with putting a dot at the center, and we're going to count up, down, left, and right around 5.1, or as close to 5.1 as you can get on a little bitty graph. And I think those are all at 4.1, but we're going to pretend and say that I got them at 5.1. And then you connect them all to make them look like a circle. And that's a little rough, but you get the idea. Next, we are going to graph this one. This one is not centered at the origin. And it's also not in standard form. Again, we need to get those squares together. So I'm going to add the x plus 2 squared over. So we'll get x plus 2 squared plus y minus 1 squared equals 27. The center here, remember h and k is the opposite sign from what's in your parentheses, so you're going to have a negative 2 and a 1. The radius is the same as last time, so about 5.1. But this time this one's been translated. So our center is going to be negative 2, 1. And then still 5 spaces up, down, left, right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. About right there. Right there. Right there. And about right there. And I think that one's better. And then connect your dots. And then you've got your circle, assuming you counted right on the spaces. Alright, so we're going to write the equation of the circle in standard form, centered at the origin and passing through negative 9, 2. Whenever I get a description of a picture, I like to draw the picture. Now, passing through negative 9, 2 means that you're going to be about right here. Oh, that's passing through. Here's your origin. That means this distance right here, that's your radius. So what you can do here, you've got x minus h squared. This doesn't have to be a complicated process. We know h and k, centered at the origin, it means 0, 0. And we know a value for x and y, which is negative 9, 2. So I'm going to substitute in. So negative 9 squared. I can put the 0 in, but it's really not necessary. Plus 2 squared equals r squared. And what we're going to find is r squared. And you've got 81 plus 4 equals r squared. So 85 equals r squared. Now we could find what the square root of 85 is, but since our standard form uses r squared, it's really not necessary. You're just going to have to re-square it. So we'll go in our parentheses, x minus 0, so x squared plus y squared equals 85 is the equation of that circle over there. Now we're going to write the equation of the circle in standard form, centered at 3, negative 2, passing through negative 7, 5. Okay, this is HK. This is xy. And so in order to write your equation, you need to find the radius. So we have x minus x squared plus y minus k squared equals r squared. So we're going to substitute in. You've got negative 7 minus 3 squared plus 5 plus 2 squared. Change the sign. R squared. This gives me 100. This gives me 49. And r squared is 149. So we're going to substitute back in h and k. Like so. And we have the equation of our circle. For the last example, we need to find the equation of the circle in standard form. This one, we're going to have to complete the square twice. We have 2 squares to complete. So the first thing we're going to do is move that negative 3 over. And so I'm going to go x squared plus 4x, leave a space because we're going to complete the square. Leave a space equals negative 3. So just for this part, what do I have to add to complete the square of x? Because we want to write it factored. We're going to have to write a 4 because it's half of 4 squared is 4. Now for this part, I take half of 8 and square it. And that is going to be 16. But whatever we add on one side, we have to add on the other side. So plus 4 plus 16. Now, we can write those completed squares factored. So x plus 2 squared, y minus 4 squared, and then when you add together the right side, you get 17. Okay, your center, negative 2, 4, your radius is the square root of 17, and that is the lesson on circles.